Oh, we've been through an interesting journey at ABSA, and I just wanted to share what that journey is and some of the exciting bits. We've done some interesting things and proof points. And anyone who knows me, I'm an ex-Googler, and it's been crazy exciting working in this nuts legacy world that is called banking. So when we started this process, we started looking at what we were getting wrong. We had built the penknife of banking. And when I mean penknife, it was the largest penknife on the planet. It literally had the pieces, that shoe picker that you can peel out and pick out of a horseshoe. But no one was using the platforms. We got really, really bad rankings. Our customers hated our digital experience. We were proudly fifth of fifth, which is stone last. We were terrible at getting into the market. We were absolutely obsessed around complexity. I think because we came from 4 different banks and we lived with this crazy legacy system, we prided ourselves in complexity. How wrong we were to win this digital race. So we needed to transform. We started looking at new ways of working, and it is a real big buzzword. DevOps, Agile, looking at lean startup methodologies. And if you work in a bank, you know what it's like to see the kind of pushback. You might have your innovators and your early adopters who are running with it as we group people into squads and we start delivering technology very quickly. But as you go into the deeper core parts of the banks, you get this major cultural pushback. So culture became really important to us. We had to think out of the box. We had to stop being a bank and we had to be a technology company. We figured we had to go a bit crazy. Have you guys seen that video or that TED video where you got that drunk guy on the side of the hill and he's doing that bit of a dance and it's how to start a movement? Well, I'm that guy. You walk into ABSA now and everyone's dressed with tackies and jeans. We're really poor at dressing because there's no fashion sense, but it's getting really geeky. We're getting crazy. We're finding safe spaces to do cool stuff. We decided we needed to build a revolutionary team. We got some weirdos in. And part of those weirdos were people like designers. We have 40 designers now who walk around with Mohicans, they walk around with afros, they got tats, they got all this crazy stuff, and they work with our banking execs, challenging them every single day. We got guys like product owners. Product owners used to be product or project managers. We've broken away from that and we're saying, become like a startup, think like a startup. Learn from guys from Rise. I see a couple of Rise guys here. Ooh, how's it, bud? So think like them, behave like them in this crazy, complex organization. We organized everyone into these squads. You thought it would be easy. It was not. People kicked and screamed. We took them out of their cubicles and we put them around these tables and we put designers next to business people, next to software engineers, and there was mayhem until everyone realized they could talk to each other and start innovating and failing. And it became a beautiful experience. We started focusing on our customer, not saying what we could sell to our customer, but what is the best possible banking solution we could build for our customer? Very difficult to break down those walls, especially within the banking exec or business space. We want to offer the best banking experience for our customer. Big focus for us. We did different things. We started building user-focused applications. We started looking at artificial intelligence. I know it's a buzzword, but guess what? We're doing it. And I'm going to share some examples of what we're doing there. We went from that, beautiful beast, right? Red disaster of a penknife, to listening to our customers. We had 2,000 of our customers through a 3-month process, which usually takes us 2 years to deliver this. And we started listening to them, tracking their eyes, going through labs, and learning what they actually wanted. We started looking at our errors, and we became quirky about our errors. We did 404 errors where we said, well, you found a 404 error. It's incredibly rare. You're like David Attenborough. You found this rare link, and we're going to send the yellow submarine with specialists to collect this 404 and fix it for you. Thank God we did that. We had lots of 404s. But instead it started this social kind of uplift. What is going on at ABSA? Something's changing. We took our app from red to blue and into another hue of red. But we started thinking about how we can take the design experience of cards across every single one of our omni-channels, whether it's in the ATMs, in any touch point in the branches, on any device, and revolutionize the experience by becoming hyper-personalized. Chat banking was an interesting thing for us. Imagine going to a bunch of bankers and saying, guys, we want to do this chat banking experience. We want to put a bank on Twitter and Facebook Messenger. They thought we were crazy, but they put a small team together. What did we do? Why did we do it? And I love this image. I don't know if you, this is the old image, right? This is the Pope's inauguration. I look at it as the first one is the internet era. The next one is the mobile era. And if you look very carefully, you'll find something weird about all the ladies there. They're facing the wrong way. They're doing selfies. Google announced the era of AI 2 weeks ago. Microsoft announced the era of AI 3 weeks ago. Facebook opened up their APIs and bot experiences. And just unbelievably, a silly red bank was already building this stuff. We built it for one reason. In the old days, when you had malls, you bought your ATMs to the mall. Now, I don't know who was old enough to see the first ATM. I'd love to get that person's view on what it was like walking past and seeing this ATM that spits money out in public. What a weird experience. I'm not going to use it. So we decided we'd do the same thing. Where are our customers? Where are the customers we want to engage with, the millennials? What do they do? They're on these chat platforms. We want to be there. But we want to be there more than just for the experience. We want to start learning how to talk to them at scale using natural language processing. So that's why we went there. We're the ATM in the mall. We're the ATM on these massive, prolific chat platforms. So how did we do it? Well, we come from this world of building technology every 2 years, and we said, well, any technology we build, we've got to build it in microservices. Now, you're taking architects who are stuck in this world of 360 legacy systems and saying, break them up into small little systems, and then we'll expose it to any layer, whether it's a website, whether it's web chat. But the end result was 4 months it took to build our mobile app. Previously, it took 18 months, and it was rubbish. Twitter, chat banking, where we first launched, took 8 weeks. Then we moved it on to Express, and we worked with the Facebook engineers on their encryption layers to help them understand what's important for a bank to be able to deliver banking services in that environment. 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, we had something live. It just gets faster and faster. The way of work, the way you structure your architecture, and most importantly, it's the culture. So what does it look like? Well, go search for ABSA chat banking and go say hi. And if you're an ABSA customer, you need to register, and that's where we do a bit of the security and authentication in our online space. But once you've done that, you don't have to log in again. In fact, what I love about this example, I know it's a bit small, but if you look carefully, I went pirate. And because we're a bunch of nerds and geeks now, we decided to put an Easter egg. We didn't tell any association steerco that we're going to put an Easter egg in there. And all of a sudden, the machine starts talking to you in pirate. Ahoy there, you old matey. Where art thou galleons? Bit weird and geeky, but hey-ho. It's about being slightly crazy, doing different, cool stuff. So what is our ultimate goal? Our ultimate goal is to build highly personalized experiences. And how do you do that? It's understanding the big data points, of which we have a lot of, but we do nothing with, and use it responsibly to be able to deliver banking services. So we're uncomfortably excited to be here today. Thank you.
So very impressive. Yeah. User-centric organizational changes to go agile, multi-channel, and targeting millennials. What can you tell us about metrics from the early experience? How many are using it? What are you measuring?
Yeah. Metrics. So part of the kind of culture that we're instilling with our product owners is no longer just to deliver, but it's about running an entire business as a product. So if you look at our product owner for chat banking, her responsibility is not just the build, it's the revenue, it's the activation, it's looking at the data and tweaking it as much as you possibly can. So the next step that we had to deal with was looking at what kind of metrics we can start measuring off the back of it. Now, it's moved away from the days of, well, how many transactions did we do? And we had an amazing first 24 hours. We had 21,000 transactions passing through it. But when you deeply analyze it, it's not really much. People are going, hi. They're swearing a lot to see what the thing says. And we handle it quite well. We go, wow, you've just sworn at us. We're going to take a screenshot, and we're going to send this off to your boss. No, we're just kidding. But please don't swear to us. We're very, polite people, polite bot.
Brett, we've got to leave time for more questions.
Oh, okay. So growth is fantastic, 28% per week.
Great job on the transformation strategy. How are you transforming the underlying core essence of what banking is? The value proposition, the design, you're already delivering what customers expect, but now in terms of business model, lowering costs, when does that come back to the customer? Where's the ROI for the customer in all of this money and investment?
Vitally important. So the banks, why are we doing this? Why are we partnering with fintechs and everything? We see the disruption coming from everywhere. So what we're doing in the digital space is we're moving away from anything that is legacy, and we're black boxing it. And legacy costs us a lot of money because we measure it in MIPS on the hardware and the mainframe and everything. So with the digital platforms, what we're seeing is literally 5% of our original operating costs coming through. It's still early days. We've got 162,000 people on our new app, which is not bad because our old app only had 250,000. And that's been there for years, and it was rubbish.
Thanks,
but it was
Brett.
running on an old tech. Sorry, geez, I got to get used to keeping it short. So yes, we're working on it, and we're seeing the effects, but we need the scale still. So the cost is working. Last question.
How's it, Brett?
How's it, Brett?
So, Facebook Messenger-based chatbots, etc. It all looks very cool, sounds very good, but really, practically, what have you guys achieved with it? Is it a gimmick or is it really helping people, and in what way?
Yeah, so I talk about internally, it's an experiment. And it's an experiment because we are trying to test what the future state is and what that platform of AI is. And in reality, what it is, and it's only 2 years away, is the voice platform. So we need to start getting the machine learning engines running on this. We've got a dumb bot, it needs to get cleverer. We're seeing the revenues because we're actually offering a lightweight banking transaction. You can buy prepaid data, prepaid airtime data, electricity, and do banking transactions, but in a limited area because people are a bit scared of what you can actually do. It's like an ATM, it's going to spit money out at you. Don't spit too much in case it spits.
So, Brett, I'm going to give you one more question because you missed your session this morning. So, judges, last question.
Hey, Brett. Really cool to see the stuff. I just couldn't get a sense of scale. Are you guys, some hackers within the bank running an experiment, or is this something that's rolling out across the organization?
Awesome question. So when we kicked it off, how we took our agile approach, and it's probably very similar to Standard Bank and FNB, you pick a pocket and you work it through and you start trying to figure out what works or doesn't work. We started this journey about a year ago with 3 teams. We built a brand new environment, very googly, but in a bank style. And we're learning from that. We now have 450 of our digital team completely engaged in squads, building out technology faster than we can think. The challenges are, some of those guys are legacy themselves. So they don't want to change, but we're giving them a chance. So when I say we're building a rockstar team, it's about taking our existing team, opening their eyes, and showing them this new way of delivering software in the Silicon Valley style. So our scale's there. Watch the space in the next month or 2. We drop the next phase of really cool, kick-ass stuff. And really, this is just MVP time. We've just built the first set of rails. So next year's the exciting stuff. Thanks, guys.